Now this is what it's all about. Got my dirt bike stowed on the wall, a little bit of floor space. So now instead of having 3 bikes wide, I can have 1 pulled out, space to work on it. So that's pretty cool. Mission accomplished. Welcome. This is the Pinson Creative Industries dirt bike lift. I'll be offering this as a DXF file so you can cut it yourself, or I'll stack everything flat in a box and mail it to you pre-cut so you can weld it yourself. So let's fit it up and see what it takes to turn into a final product. And if you think this is cool, subscribe. I'll probably make something else you think is cool. All right, for this project, it's like, yeah, I do have a fixture table. Got some little right angle magnets here or there, Harbor Freight, MiG 170 to attack everything. Now, you know, I'm wearing this jumpsuit, just disclaimer, I'm not a pilot. I got this at a garage sale for 50 cents and it works really good for keeping me clean and welding. So first thing we're gonna wanna do is get this set up, hold this up here, and then tack this guy in place. There we go. All right, got a couple of tack welds to hold that guy in place. And don't worry, we'll square everything up after it's tacked. So we're gonna wanna come to the other side, put this guy on here. Now, if you have a large enough clamp, this is where a large enough clamp comes in handy. Throw some tacks on here. We're gonna do the old just close our eyes. Oh yeah. 2 tacks. Very nice, very nice. Now, I put a decent amount of thought into this kit so that it would be fairly easy to assemble. So, this is the first one I'm building. Haven't had any practice. So we're gonna see if this is as easy to assemble as in my mind's eye slash CAD. Let's see what our problem is. Our tack welds are pulling this thing. So let's put some more tacks on this side and even out the pressure. Round 2. Let's see if I can put the center support in first for it to have something to rest on. Let's try again. All right, this looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and tack that up. All right, looks all right. All right, that popped into place pretty good. Hey, look at that. It's coming together pretty well. Let's pop a couple more tacks in here, shall we? Now that that's all tacked up pretty well, and everything's being held in place by the tabs, it isn't tacked up. We go ahead and fit up our support gussets in the bottom. So these should just be able to slide in. Well, on the side that doesn't have a tack, you can slide it in. Might have to give those a little bit of percussive persuasion. There's one. tube. Now that looks pretty good. So using basically no fixturing and a couple of tack welds, the whole thing fits together pretty brilliantly. So I've designed this to be welded along this seam here. So this gives you a nice little V to feel all the way. I'm gonna TIG weld over where all the tabs come through, and I'm gonna stitch weld in the corners here. And then I think I'm gonna TIG weld the V groove that's made up along the side here. And then when you turn it and lift it up, I'm gonna stitch weld the center support and these cross supports. And then we'll see what the welding looks like when it's over. So as promised, did some stitch welds here, welded where this triangular brace supported it. I fully welded the inside here, all there. And then if you turn around and look at it, we have, I only fully welded these to give me a good backer for when I go back and TIG weld the outside and make it look all nice, but I stitched. You get the idea. I expect if you're putting together one of these kits, you have some fabrication experience, so you can use your best judgment on how to weld it together. Yeah. Judge my welds, please. They are very bad, but that is okay, because I'm not a really welder. I'm more just a guy in garage. Alright. So, next, I'm gonna TIG weld over these interfaces here, make it look all pretty, and I'm gonna TIG weld out this V all the way down here on both sides. I say make it look all pretty as my TIG welds can make it look, which is only slightly better than my poor little MIG welds. But once all is done, we'll bolt on our bearings, put them in our rails in the wall, and see if we can pick up a dirt bike. And here we have the completed product. Dirt bike lift powered by Harbor Freight hoist, a little cheapo. I think it's like 400 pounds on the double line lift. So what we've done is we've welded up our frame and attached it to our strut trolleys, and these are 1 5/8 unistrut from Lowe's, and let's watch it go. So first, raise it up just a hair, pull your safety pins out of your unistrut channel, set those for the side, to the side there, and then we'll let this guy down. All right, now you want to set it down just enough so that the weight's on the wheels. And then you can take your impact, put your hand under here. Drop out your rod. You set your little pieces to the side, and then do the same thing on the back side. So then go ahead and, whoops, put your kickstand down, lower it the rest of the way, and your bike's off. It's that easy. So this actually goes all the way, sits on the floor, so it's nice and out of the way. So what we have here is unistrut 1 5/8 from the hardware store anchored into the wall. And then we have our frame and our pulley that goes up to our Harbor Freight winch that does all the lifting. Now, one thing you might wonder is this strong and stable? Yes, it is very strong and very stable. Let's jump. Doesn't budge. Doesn't budge. Very strong. Yep. It's almost like no need to flex your engineering degree because anybody can build this. All right, here we go. All designed in CAD, all plasma cut. So you got your nice little holes for your mounting, your nice little deck pad. Some people might want to paint this. I don't think I'd want to paint mine. So I've used boiled linseed oil to give it that nice raw look. This stuff will plasticize and give a nice, almost clear coat finish. So yeah, that's it. All right, now let's see how long it takes to load and stow the bike. So this is why I built this thing, small garage, not a lot of room. So let's see, first you get the bike about where you want it. You're going to want to look down through the pegs to make sure the pegs line up with your holes. And that looks pretty good. And you want to get it where the weight's up off of it. Get it back just a hair. That feels pretty good. Let's make sure we're off the linkage. Looks good to me. Get your little impact. And then this is where you just stack up your hardware. Just slide your all thread up through your peg here. Put your rubber washer or then flat washer on. And then put your nut on there. And then tighten her down. Same thing on the other side. All thread up through the foot peg, fender washer, nut. Once everything's secured pretty good, you can continue. I like to lift it off the ground before tightening this, so I can double check, make sure everything's where I wanted. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So we'll go ahead and tighten her down. And it doesn't take very much to tighten her down very well. Now we can give it the good old shake test. Now if you can see, there's a little play in the bearings, but that's okay. That's what allows it to slide up and down. But as far as the strength of the lift itself and the weight, I'm going to throw my body weight up here on this peg, cantilever it off of the wall. You can see how strong this thing really is. Didn't even budge. An extra 180 pounds on top of a DRZ. That's incredible. All right, let's send her back up. Once you got it high enough, slip your safety pins back in the rails. And I like to set it down on the safety pins like you would do an automotive lift. Still keep a little bit of tension on the cable. Yeah, there we go. Perfecto. Now this is pretty rad. I'm pretty happy with that. And I got holes on both sides, so you can flip the dirt bike around, mount it on whichever side you want. As you can see, the lift is stronger than I am. 180 pounds on top of a DRZ. That thing's pretty stout, so you kind of look up under it, see the gussets that I put on there, you know, give it a lot of nice rigidity. It's almost like I know what I'm doing or something. So yeah, that's my take on a dirt bike lift, and I'll be selling these. So if this video comes out before I have links available for you to buy, just send me an email at joseph.j.pinson@gmail.com and I'll get you a flat packaged weld it kit in the mail. Thanks for watching. And if you think this is cool, subscribe. I'll probably make something else you think is cool.